This video is on a Montana Mountaineer edition. So some things I noticed were along each side of the door here. Trim's popping off on the floor on each side. Also on this one, the trim's popping off the side of the door here. That happens a lot on these Montanas because it's aluminum framing, so they tend to pop off a lot. So we have that as a big problem. Another problem right over here, which sometimes happen, this cover is rubbing on the microwave, so we're gonna have to do some adjustment right here because it doesn't open up all the way unless you really push on it. Otherwise it falls over. Okay. Another issue I found, this door's rubbing really bad on the framing, so we're gonna have to make some adjustment here so the door actually shuts properly. It's not rubbing on the framing. That's something you'll tend to find. Inside the closet here, you have trim that's actually popping right off inside here. This corner molding stuff that folds in half, it'll end up popping off a lot. In this unit, we actually have found the wall finish on the panel here is actually peeling right off and bubbling up. I haven't actually seen a lot of this, but in this unit, there's some issue with the finish that's actually on the paneling. Okay. On this unit, we found that the shower, the travel stopper clip is actually missing right out of this unit. So sometimes that'll happen. I don't know if they just never put it on. Another issue we found is right where the cabinet hits the ceiling, somehow the finish on the ceiling panel got wrinkled and bubbled, and so we're gonna have to fix that so it looks a little better. Right here is another example of a cabinet that does not stay shut properly. Touch it with one finger, pops open. Also with this cabinet, it's hard to get in, it pops right open, just one finger. And it pops right open, unlike this one where a couple fingers, it's not even gonna start to budge open. This little cabinet under the sink, the latch on the door is actually hitting the frame, so it won't even shut. Once I got it open really hard pulling on it, now it won't even shut at all. So sometimes that's an issue that you'll have to take care of. So the dinette chairs around the table, you'll find a lot of scuff marks on them, like this one right here, so we'll touch up with stain marker or whatever. A lot of times you'll find them over here along the edges where they're rubbing and stuff together. So try to make that all look good for the customer. A real frequent thing you'll find with this wallpaper border, this stuff's not even sticking. So I have it happening here. Then I also have it happening here by the door. So you'll definitely want to check that on the units because those things never seem to stick properly. So this is the rear entry door. I showed you the first one. This is a better view of the trim popping off. That's the rear entry door. So both doors it happens on. Another issue that happens often, this power vent, the fantastic vent, it's not working. Up on the actual fan itself, you have a little black circle there with a fuse. That's probably blown, but a lot of times you'll get that where they're not working properly. So that's another thing you definitely want to make sure those are working. So this is just another example cabinet door. It's not staying locked properly. One finger, two fingers, it pops open. This one, that's the way they should work. They hold shut. They had something in here that would be all over the floor once they got to their campground. So you definitely want to make sure they latch properly. Also, tabletops is an important thing to look at. From here to here, if you can see it on the tape, I got it marked out. A lot of scuffs have been coming across on tables, so I want to see if you can buff them out, sand them out, or somehow make that look appropriate. Another thing you want to check when you're checking out faucets, this handle stays on, this handle comes off, so they just didn't tighten it down, but you want to definitely just give them a tug, see if they come off. Customer won't like that, so it's an easy fix, just something that you want to check out when you're doing the preps. So another issue a lot of the times is that they wire up the radio wrong, so when you're playing a movie, you should be able to hear it through the TV. This one, I'm playing the movie right now, and the only way I can get sound is through the stereo system. So the stereo system has volume, no TV volume, audio through the TV, so it's wired right at the TV. Must be wired wrong behind the stereo, so that definitely happens frequently. So another thing when you're checking locks and entry door locks, this lock was broken. Does happen every now and then, who knows why, but the pin behind the handle here is actually snapped right off, so that's something you might run into. So you're looking at the freshwater hose. We actually don't have a picture of it when it was all kinked over because the hole was in the wrong spot, but sometimes you'll run into the freshwater port not allowing water to flow into the tank. This is kind of an after view of it, but that hose was kinked right over, wasn't allowing any water to flow into it, so you definitely want to check the freshwater hoses if it's flowing back out and not filling up the tank. Okay. Just some examples of sealant gaps. Here's a spot, the rubber trim that goes up the side of the nose. There's a sealant gap there, so that's just one good example of sealant gaps you're looking for, and I'll show a couple others. This is a good example of a sealant gap right down this trim here. There actually looks like it peeled right off, or they totally forgot to put it on. So this is an example of them probably not putting any on it. So you'll definitely want to look for stuff like this. If water can get in there, that's not a good thing at all.